Hello, I'm Ken Carpenter, and this is Invest AI Savvy, where AI powers smart investing. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, 2026. No signal of the day today. And before we go any further, let me explain what that actually means, because one sentence is the whole show. Every morning, BuzzPulse looks for one thing above all else. It's looking for a single stock or crypto where four completely separate signals are pointing in the same direction at the same time. Social chatter is saying one thing, options activity saying the same thing, sentiment analysis saying the same thing, technical momentum confirming that same thing. And when all four of these line up, that's what we call convergence. And the asset that scores the highest on that convergence, that's our signal of the day. It's the highest conviction name the system can produce. And today, nothing crossed that bar. Not one stock, not one crypto coin. That's rare, but it happens. And what it tells you is that the market is moving, but it's not moving with conviction. So today's show is about a different layer of the system, the watch list. Four names made it. We'll walk through what they are, why they matter, and just as important, why are they not the same as the signal of the day? So let's get into it. Here's what happened. BuzzPulse ran its full model overnight, and the convergence layer came up empty. So we dropped down to the next layer, which we call the greed score model. And I want to slow down here because this is where most people get confused. Convergence asks one question: are multiple independent signals agreeing on this name? Greed score asks a different question: is there strong, fast-moving crowd attention on this name with positive sentiment behind it? Those are two very different things. A name can have a screaming crowd attention and still no convergence, which means a lot of people are still talking, but the deeper signals haven't confirmed it yet. That's why convergence is the gold standard and greed score is the secondary filter. Now, on a normal day, we lead with the signal of the day and the watch list that supports it. But today, with no signal of the day, the watch list is all we have. And four names made the cut. The top name on the greed scored watch list is DRAM. It's a stock priced at $46.29. Its Z-score is 15.2, which is just a way of saying the chatter on this name is 15 standard deviations above its normal baseline. In plain English, this name is being talked about a lot more than usual. Sentiment is positive 0.46, which means the people talking about it are leaning bullish, not bearish. So the greed score is 0.475, which is the highest of the day. Now, what we don't have on DRAM is a strong catalyst, options data, or earnings information. So what you're looking at is pure social momentum with positive feeling behind it and nothing else confirming it. That's why it's a watch list name and not a signal of the day. Three of the four watch list names have something in common. They're all tied to semiconductors. DRAM, BULL, and the semiconductor ETF SOXX. The reason is that Advanced Micro Devices, ticker AMD, reports earnings today. AMD itself is a large cap, which BuzzPulse excludes by rule because we focus on names that aren't already on everybody's radar. But when a major company in a sector reports, the attention spreads to smaller related names. That's what we're seeing today. SOXX has a Z-score of 8.7, sentiment of plus 0.12, and a greed score of 0.449. Bull is a mid-cap equity, Z-score 6.2, sentiment plus 0.51, the highest sentiment of the four, and a greed score of 0.475, priced at $7.33. The fourth name is WULF, WULF, also a mid-cap, Z-score 5.8, sentiment plus 0.18, greed score 0.466, priced at $23.49. WULF is interesting because it has its own earnings coming up in 2 days on May 8th. So the attention building on WULF may be people positioning ahead of that report. Now, quick disclaimer before we go further, BuzzPulse is a research and discovery platform, but I'm not a financial advisor. So nothing in this show is investment advice. And the names we're covering are the names that the system flagged. So what you do with that information is entirely your decision, and it should always involve your own research. So now I want to talk about the greed list, which is different from the watch list that we were just talking about. The greed list is the warning layer. These are the names that have high chatter or velocity, but failed the quality gates. So AMC showed up with a greed score of 0.55 and a Z score of 14.6. That's heavy chatter, but no convergence, no catalyst, no underlying setup. It's meme momentum, and meme momentum can reverse in hours. SPY and QQQ both appeared, but those are broad market ETFs moving with general risk on flow, not specific discovery. Berkshire Hathaway Class B is a large cap excluded by rule, and BHRB is a greed score of 0.15 with a Z score of 0, which is essentially the system telling us there's nothing real there. The watch list tells you where to look, and the greed list tells you where the trap is. Now, one more thing that matters for anyone watching today, the Federal Reserve announces its interest rate decision tomorrow, May 7th. The Fed decision moves nearly every asset in the market within minutes. The VIX, which measures expected market volatility, is at 16.8 and has dropped almost 11% over the last 5 days. So the market is calm right now, but Fed announcements can change that quickly. CPI inflation data is also coming out on May 13th, which is 7 days from now. So if you're researching any of today's watch list names, those are the two events that are on the calendar that you should know about. Everything you heard today was locked from BuzzPulse data as of 1 a.m. Pacific time. The convergence layer was quiet. The watch list gave us 4 names, and the greed list flagged the noise. That's the discovery for the day. I'm Ken Carpenter. This is Invest AI Savvy, and that's the way it is.